Two of Vancouver's most powerful politicians have changed their tune less than 2 years after leaving office. One now has the suburbs on his mind, the other is apologizing for being a greenhouse gas spewing globetrotter. The Vision Vancouver center-left coalition dominated City Hall for a decade as billions of dollars of Chinese money flowed into Vancouver and touched off a luxury tower and mansion building boom. After he retired from politics in 2018, former Vision Vancouver City Councillor Raymond Louie joined real estate developer Coromandel Properties as Chief Operating Officer. Louie waxed philosophical about the suburbs during the Urban Land Institute's July 31st Zoom webinar.
Micro-communities, which you can then have some confidence about managing and providing for within that very, very micro situation. You think about our current safe bubbles that we try to operate under. How do we replicate that under an urban planning format and give people the opportunities that they don't need to travel far and wide and work in place and age in place? We've talked about that for a very long time. And so how is it that we can provide that new paradigm in a way that supports this a positive urban planning initiative, I think, for those that haven't built out yet. And I think that's the opportunity for the more suburban areas.
Meanwhile, ex-mayor Gregor Robertson was a guest in the Ethelo e-Democracy Zoom webinar on July 30th. Robertson is a vice president with Nexi Building Products and active in various Michael Bloomberg environmental foundations. In the wake of the pandemic crisis, the most traveled politician in BC history got philosophical about the impacts of tourism.
There have been real silver linings for cities, and these are kind of really palpable changes that people have felt in their lives. It's cleaner air, less air pollution in cities around the world. People can see mountains in cities that have not seen them in generations. We've had an incredible test of working from home and in reducing work travel, and so-called love miles of travel, which, I think all of that was at an all-time high for people flying around the world for work, for one meeting on the other side of the planet, or to see family or loved ones. We were in such a pattern of that, escalating and burning a lot of fossil fuels to move ourselves around. And we've had a forced reset of that.
From 2009, his first full year in office, to 2017, his last full year in office, Gregor Robertson spent 331 days traveling outside Vancouver for a cost to taxpayers of almost $127,000. Robertson was fond of traveling around the world to environmental conferences, including the United Nations Annual Climate Convention in Paris, the World Expo in Shanghai, the Vatican City, speaking engagements in New York, Chicago, Sydney, Beijing, Brussels, Johannesburg, and Singapore, and trips with his ex-girlfriend, singer Wanting Chu. Robertson went on another whirlwind trip after retirement from politics with another girlfriend, Shahzad Rafati of Broadband TV. Bob Mackin, TheBreaker.News, Vancouver.